The morning sunlight poured through the tall windows of the Cliff House, but Taylor Hayes barely noticed it. She stood alone near the fireplace, holding a sealed medical envelope so tightly that the edges had begun to bend beneath her fingers. For days she had told everyone she was fine. She had smiled at Steffi, reassured Ridge, changed the subject whenever Brooke asked why she seemed distracted, and insisted that the appointment she had quietly attended was nothing more than a routine checkup. Taylor had spent her career helping other people face painful truths, yet now she was struggling to face one of her own. Inside that envelope was a medical report she had never intended anyone in Los Angeles to see. It wasn't simply the diagnosis written across the page that frightened her. It was what the report represented: uncertainty, vulnerability, and the possibility that the future she had finally begun imagining with Deacon Sharpe could disappear before it truly started. Taylor slowly opened the envelope again, even though she already knew every sentence by heart. Her doctor had discovered a cardiac abnormality that required additional testing and careful monitoring. The report did not say that Taylor was dying, and it did not predict the worst, but it warned that emotional stress could complicate her condition until doctors understood exactly what they were dealing with. Taylor stared at those words and whispered, "Not now." After years of heartbreak, complicated feelings for Ridge, battles with Brooke, and watching her family fracture and rebuild itself again and again, Taylor had finally allowed herself to believe she deserved something different. Deacon had surprised her. Their connection had begun cautiously, almost impossibly, because Sheila Carter had always stood between them like a shadow. But somewhere between their honest conversations and unexpected moments of tenderness, Taylor had started seeing a future she had never planned. Deacon made her laugh. He challenged her. Most importantly, he looked at Taylor as Taylor, not as Ridge Forrester's former wife, not as Steffi and Thomas's mother, not as Brooke Logan's lifelong rival. With Deacon, she felt seen. And that was exactly why she had hidden the medical report from him. She didn't want sympathy to become the foundation of their relationship. She didn't want Deacon looking at her with fear every time she touched her chest or became tired. Taylor folded the report and placed it inside a drawer just as she heard the door open behind her. "Mom," Steffi called. Taylor quickly closed the drawer and turned around with a smile that appeared almost convincing. Steffi entered and immediately narrowed her eyes. "What are you hiding?" Taylor laughed softly. "Since when does closing a drawer mean I'm hiding something?" "Since you're my mother, and I know that face." Steffi walked closer. "You've been acting strange for days." Taylor reached for her daughter's hands. "I'm fine." Steffi studied her carefully. "You always tell me not to use that word when I'm clearly not fine." Taylor smiled at the irony. Maybe psychiatrists are terrible at following their own advice. Steffi wanted to press harder, but Taylor changed the conversation to Hayes and Kelly, asking about their schedules and distracting her daughter long enough for the tension to fade. Yet when Steffi finally left, Taylor opened the drawer again. She looked at the report and made a decision. She would tell Deacon, but only after her next round of tests gave her something definite to tell him. Unfortunately for Taylor, Sheila Carter was about to make sure she never got that chance. Across town at Il Giardino, Deacon was reviewing deliveries when Sheila walked in. The moment he saw her, his expression hardened. "What are you doing here?" Sheila smiled as if his hostility amused her. "It's still a restaurant, isn't it? Or has Taylor convinced you I'm banned from every building you own?" Deacon put down his paperwork. "Don't start." "I'm not starting anything." Sheila slowly approached him. "I'm simply wondering how long you're going to pretend this little romance is everything you've been searching for. My relationship with Taylor is none of your business." Sheila's smile faded. "You used to say that about us too." Deacon shook his head. "There is no us, Sheila. Not anymore." Those words landed harder than Sheila wanted him to know. She looked away for a moment, gathering herself before turning back with calculated calm. "You really love her?" Deacon didn't hesitate. "Yes." Sheila's eyes flashed. "Enough to build a future with her?" "That's the plan." Sheila nodded slowly, hiding the fury growing beneath her controlled expression. She had spent months convincing herself that Deacon would eventually remember what they shared. She believed Taylor was temporary, a woman Deacon admired because she represented stability and respectability. But hearing him say he loved Taylor changed something inside Sheila. If Deacon would not come back willingly, Sheila would have to destroy the fantasy keeping him away. Later that afternoon, Taylor visited the hospital for another consultation. She believed no one knew about the appointment. She was wrong. Sheila happened to be there visiting Finn, and when she saw Taylor stepping out of a cardiology office, curiosity immediately took over. Sheila remained hidden around the corner as Taylor spoke briefly with a nurse. Dr. Reynolds wants another scan before making any conclusions, the nurse explained. Try to avoid unnecessary stress until then. Taylor nodded. I understand. And please don't ignore any symptoms. I won't. Taylor walked away, unaware that Sheila had heard almost everything. Sheila's expression changed from curiosity to satisfaction. Cardiology, she whispered. Well, Taylor, what aren't you telling everyone? Sheila knew she needed more than overheard fragments. She needed proof. Something undeniable. Something that could turn Deacon's concern into doubt and Taylor's secrecy into betrayal. The opportunity arrived sooner than Sheila expected. Taylor returned to the hospital after realizing she had left a folder behind. By then, the documents had been placed at the nurse's station. Sheila noticed the familiar name printed across the folder from several feet away, Taylor Hayes. She did not need to steal the original. A photograph would be enough. Waiting until the desk was temporarily unattended, Sheila moved quickly, opened the folder just enough to see the report, and photographed the page. Her eyes widened as she read the warning about Taylor's cardiac abnormality, additional testing, and the recommendation to minimize emotional stress. Then Sheila noticed something even more useful. Taylor had listed Steffi as her emergency contact, but there was no mention of Deacon. Sheila smiled. You haven't told him. To anyone else, Taylor's decision might have looked understandable. To Sheila, it looked like ammunition. That evening, Deacon arrived at Taylor's home carrying dinner. Taylor opened the door and laughed when she saw the bags. Please tell me you didn't bring half of Il Giardino. Only the good half. He kissed her gently. For a few precious hours, Taylor almost forgot about the report. They ate together, talked about Hope, Steffi, their families, and the strange road that had brought them together. Deacon eventually leaned back and looked at Taylor with a seriousness that made her nervous. You know, I've been thinking. That sounds dangerous. Very funny. He reached across the table and took her hand. I'm happy, Taylor. Really happy. I didn't think I'd get this again. Her eyes softened. Neither did I. Then maybe we stop treating this like something that's going to disappear. Taylor's smile weakened slightly. What do you mean? I mean we start making plans. Real plans. Taylor looked down at their hands. This was the moment she should have told him. She could hear her own professional voice reminding her that intimacy required honesty. But fear stopped her. Deacon, what? Nothing. She forced a smile. I like the sound of real plans. Deacon kissed her hand. Taylor smiled back, but guilt settled heavily inside her. The next morning, Sheila made her first move. She sent Deacon an anonymous message containing only one sentence. Before you promise Taylor a future, ask what she's hiding about that future. Deacon stared at his phone, irritated more than concerned. He deleted the message. Minutes later, another arrived. This time there was a photograph attached, the entrance to the hospital's cardiology department, with Taylor visible in the background. Deacon's expression changed. What the hell? He called Taylor immediately. She didn't answer because she was in another appointment. That silence allowed uncertainty to grow. By afternoon, Sheila arrived at Il Giardino, wearing the expression of someone pretending she had no idea what was happening. Deacon confronted her before she could speak. Did you send these? Sheila looked at his phone and widened her eyes. Why would I? Because you're obsessed with Taylor. I'm not the one keeping secrets from you. Deacon froze. Sheila immediately realized she had said too much. What does that mean? He demanded. Sheila sighed theatrically. Forget it. Sheila. I shouldn't have said anything. You already did. Deacon stepped closer. What do you know? Sheila allowed silence to stretch between them. Taylor has been seeing a cardiologist. Deacon's anger disappeared, replaced by concern. Why? Maybe you should ask your girlfriend. How do you know? I saw her at the hospital. Sheila paused. And from what I heard, this isn't some routine appointment. Deacon grabbed his jacket. I'm going to Taylor. Sheila caught his arm. Deacon, wait. He pulled away. Don't touch me. I'm trying to protect you. From Taylor? He almost laughed. You're unbelievable. Sheila's eyes filled with emotion. From being blindsided. You think Taylor trusts you? She doesn't. If she did, you would already know. Deacon stared at her, then walked out without another word. Taylor was home when Deacon arrived. The instant she saw his expression, she knew something had happened. Deacon? Were you at the cardiology department? Taylor went pale. Who told you? That response was enough. Deacon exhaled slowly. So it's true. I can explain. Then explain. Taylor asked him to sit down, but he remained standing. She opened the drawer and removed the medical report. A routine examination found something unusual with my heart. The doctors don't know exactly what it means yet. They're running tests. Deacon stared at her. How long have you known? A little while. And you weren't going to tell me? I was. When? Taylor's voice cracked. When I knew what I was telling you. Deacon shook his head. Taylor, you don't have to protect me from this. I wasn't protecting you. She swallowed. I was protecting us. From what? From becoming about this. She held up the report. I didn't want every conversation to become about my heart. I didn't want you staying because you felt responsible for me. Deacon stepped closer. You really think that's why I'd stay? No, but I was scared. He softened immediately. Then you should have told me you were scared. Taylor's eyes filled with tears. I know. Deacon pulled her into his arms. For one moment, Sheila's plan appeared to have failed completely. But Sheila wasn't finished. The next day, she confronted Taylor directly. How's your heart? Taylor's face changed instantly. You. Sheila smiled. I'm touched you figured it out. You told Deacon. He deserved the truth. You had no right. Interesting coming from a psychiatrist who lectures everyone else about honesty. Taylor stepped closer. Stay away from my medical information. Sheila's expression hardened. Maybe you should have kept it somewhere I couldn't find it. Taylor suddenly realized Sheila knew more than she should. What did you do? Sheila pulled out her phone and showed Taylor the photograph of the report. Taylor stared in disbelief. Delete that. Why? Because it is private medical information. Oh, I know. That's what makes it so valuable. Taylor's anger rose. If you think this is going to bring Deacon back to you, you're more delusional than I thought. Sheila's smile disappeared. You think you've won because he's comforting you now? Give it time. Deacon doesn't want another person he has to save. He spent years living in chaos. Eventually, he'll realize that loving you means waiting for the next emergency. Taylor slapped Sheila's phone away from her face. You don't know anything about my relationship. I know Deacon. You knew a version of him. That's your problem, Sheila. You can't accept that he changed. Sheila leaned forward. And you can't accept that part of him will always belong to me. Taylor walked away, refusing to give Sheila the reaction she wanted. Yet Sheila's words followed her home. What if Deacon did begin seeing her differently? What if her health became another burden? That night, Taylor found herself withdrawing. When Deacon called, she claimed she was tired. When he suggested coming over, she told him she needed space. Deacon sensed the change immediately. Sheila exploited it. She began appearing at Il Giardino more frequently, never directly asking Deacon to take her back. Instead, she presented herself as the woman who understood him. Taylor doesn't want you involved, she said one evening. Respect that. Deacon glared at her. Since when do you respect boundaries? Sheila ignored the insult. I'm serious. She spent her life being independent. Maybe she doesn't want you watching over her. I'm not watching over her. Then why are you checking your phone every 5 minutes? Deacon looked down. Sheila had found the weakness she wanted, not jealousy, but fear. Deacon was terrified something would happen to Taylor while she was alone. Meanwhile, Steffi finally learned the truth when she arrived unexpectedly and found her mother sitting with the report in her lap. "Mom, what is that?" Taylor tried to hide it, but Steffi took the pages before she could. Her eyes widened. "Cardiac abnormality?" "Steffi, you told me you were fine. The doctors are still investigating. Why didn't you tell me?" Taylor looked exhausted. "Because everyone is doing exactly what I was afraid they'd do." "What does that mean?" "Looking at me like I'm fragile." Steffi sat beside her. "I'm looking at you like you're my mother, and I love you." Taylor's eyes filled with tears. Steffi hugged her tightly. "We're going to deal with this together." After a moment, Taylor whispered, "Sheila knows." Steffi pulled back. "What?" "She found the report." Steffi's shock transformed into fury. "Sheila got your medical report?" "She photographed it." Steffi stood. "I'm calling Finn." "No, Mom. Please. The last thing I need is another war. She invaded your privacy. And that's exactly what she wants. Everyone fighting while she gets closer to Deacon." Steffi understood immediately. "She's using this to break you up." Taylor nodded. "She thinks if she can make Deacon afraid of our future, he'll run back to her." Steffi took her mother's hands. "Will he?" Taylor hesitated. That hesitation worried Steffi more than anything. At Il Giardino, Sheila pushed harder. She showed Deacon the photograph of Taylor's report. "Read the recommendation." Deacon's eyes moved across the words, "Avoid excessive emotional stress." Sheila lowered her voice. "Think about Taylor's life since she became involved with you. Constant fights.
Me, Hope, Brooke, Ridge, Steffi.
All of it." "What are you saying?" "I'm saying maybe loving you isn't good for her." Deacon looked at Sheila in disbelief. "You're actually using her health to get me back. I'm trying to make you see reality."
No.
"You're twisting reality." "Am I?" "Her doctors say she needs less stress. Can you honestly promise her that?" Deacon didn't answer immediately, and Sheila knew she had planted the seed. Later that night, Deacon stood outside Taylor's house for several minutes before finally knocking. Taylor opened the door and immediately noticed the report in his hand. "She gave you that?" "Yes." Taylor closed her eyes. "Deacon, I'm sorry." "Why are you apologizing?" "Because none of this is fair to you." "Stop. Maybe Sheila is right about one thing." Deacon's expression hardened. "Don't say that." Taylor continued. "Your life with me isn't exactly peaceful." "Taylor, my family, Ridge, Brooke, Steffi, Sheila constantly coming after us. That's life. My doctor told me to avoid stress. Then we'll reduce the stress." Taylor laughed sadly.
How?
"By getting Sheila out of our relationship." Taylor looked at him. "You make it sound easy." "It's not